Adkison. Well, the Economic Research Service's Food Expenditure Series is a comprehensive data set that measures the U.S. food system, quantifying the value of food acquired by type of product, outlet, and purchaser. And joining us now for a review is, with the latest numbers, is AFBF economic analyst Megan Nelson. Megan, thanks for joining us today. What has the September edition of that Food Expenditure Series proven for us so far?
The series has indicated that U.S. consumers are spending record amounts at $1.6 trillion on food and beverages in 2017. Of those total expenditures, 53.8% are being spent on food away from home purchases. So this is going to the restaurant or a fast food establishment, as opposed to the 46.2% being spent on food at home, which is going to the grocery store and having food you're preparing for yourself and your family at home. What's interesting, though, is that since 2010, the gap between these two expenditures has been increasing year over year and currently represents a $123 billion difference.
I understand that the gap has never been wider. Do we think we'll ever see this narrow, or is it a trend that's going to continue for quite some time?
Well, most likely the largest contributor to this gap increase is the rise in median income since the recession. So if another recession were to happen, we could see this gap narrow once again. However, there are a number of economic factors, such as demographic profiles, that could contribute to this gap never quite seeing the same stage that we were at in the recession.
So why is the data set so important?
This data set's incredibly rich, and that's kind of what makes it so important. USDA's ERS has been collecting data since 1869, and this is provided for manufacturers and retailers and policymakers to make decisions on food trends and food supply chain systems.
So taking into consideration even the gap in the sales, of course, at the restaurant or at the grocery store shelves, what does this whole research mean for our nation's farmers?
For our nation's farmers, this could indicate that the share of the food dollar that the farmer sees could be decreasing. And this is explained because the share of the food dollar that the farmer gets from when we go out to eat at a restaurant is less than the share of the food dollar when we spend money on the grocery store and making food at home.
Certainly.
However, I think I think the important thing to note here, too, is that we're seeing record amounts being spent on food and beverage, and that's always good for the American farmer.
All right. Well, thank you very much for sharing your insight today. AFBF economic analyst Megan Nelson joining us from